Good morning, everyone. Sure glad you could join us for coffee again today. Ooh, a good cup of coffee. Hope you had a nice week and a nice weekend. I always pray for that. And I had a great week. I just came back from Madisonville, Kentucky. Uh, had a wonderful mission with people down there. I had never been there before, and it's just a beautiful spot in western Kentucky. Loved it. My reflections are on a couple of things, but they all kind of come together. Sunday's gospel, I always like hearing it because it's about just making the best of what God gives you. You know, and it was a story Jesus said. He told us the story about master leaving and giving his turning over really his estate and asking his servants and his people to do well while he was gone. And that's what they were asked to do, is to manage well and to do better, to take what they had and maybe double it, maybe make something more out of it. I was thinking about Clarence. Clarence he's an FBI guy. He travels all over the country, and while he's gone, he always likes to pick up a little something for his wife Suzette. And he was in this one little town, and he stopped in a little shop next to this convention place where he was. And he went in there and he thought, I'll just get one of these little scarves, and bring home. And so he went over and picked up one of the scarves and went up to the cashier, and the guy said, that'll be $40. He said, $40? He said, I could get a pair of shoes for my wife for $40. And the guy looked at him and says, yeah, but how would those shoes look around your wife's neck? Sometimes to make things work and turn things better, I still don't think you should just gouge people either. Just to do it well, and to double your money. There ought to be a better way. But I often thought, that whatever gifts God gives me, I ought to use them to the best of my ability. If he gives me a gift, then surely I ought to use it well. And that's why I think I'm one of the better re-gifters. Because if I can't use it, I want somebody to be able to, so that it's a way to appreciate the gift. I always believe that, once somebody gives me a gift, it's a gift. And therefore, if to appreciate that, I want it to be used. So if I can't or don't want to, or it's something I already have, I'm going to give it to somebody. That to me is a way of thanking God. And this week, come Thursday, we're gonna celebrate Thanksgiving. It's a wonderful time. It's family time. I know Christmas is, but there's something about Thanksgiving. It's around a meal, and I often think that's what was so beautiful about my faith and my priesthood, because the heart of it is in Eucharist, which is the family gathering around the meal. So I look forward to Thanksgiving. My brother Dick and I will be with our sister Marianne in Tucson, and the three of us will enjoy a meal together. I'm banking on Marianne preparing this meal. We'll find out when I get there. But it brings me to reflect upon being grateful and for everything God gives, especially the gift of his Son in Eucharist, because the gathering around the table is just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And it is with Eucharist. But I want to be grateful for everything. And Thanksgiving gives me that opportunity. Today's gospel was about Jesus giving the gift of sight to a blind man who just said, Lord, have pity on me. And finally, Jesus says, which he always did, by the way. His way of ministering was always asking questions. He said, what do you want from me? What do you need? He just wanted to see. And because of his great faith, Jesus gave him that gift. And I'm sure he was grateful for it. And that's what I want to be, grateful for God's gifts. I laugh too because my brother is going through cataract surgery right now, and I know he's going to see better. And I had mine done, and I know what it did for me. I mean, it's like the miracle of seeing again. I'm grateful for all of the doctors in my life that have kept me not only alive but healthy. And so Thanksgiving is that time when we can stop and say thank you. But for me this year, and maybe it's a confession, I want to make the Thanksgiving more real and active. It's one thing to pray and thank God, which I'll do. And any of us can talk to God this Thursday and say thank you. And we will, I'm sure. But I'm looking to be grateful in a way that is more active and it has more powerful. God's given me some gifts, and I know I put it off for a while, but I love to paint, and I haven't painted in a while. God gave me a gift that I can paint, and so during the holidays I'm going to paint it again. I kind of put it aside, and I don't know. There's no excuse. When you have a gift, you ought to use it. The best way to thank somebody for a gift is to use it, or to make sure it's used. For us regifters, to make sure it's used. And so if God's given you some gifts, the best way to thank him is to use them. If you like to cook, make some special meals. If you like to bake, make something special for people. Bake them and take them to church. Anyway, I just think that's what I'm going to do, is to make my Thanksgiving real and active, and it'll witness to me being appreciating what I have. So anyway, I do. And for prayers, what I'd like you to do today is join me in praying for those people that are in need of our prayers. So I'd like you to remember our retired Vincentians in Perryville, Missouri, especially those in need of healing. And then I'd like you to remember some friends of the mission who are in need of God's healing. And so remember Karen and Lisa and Louise and Loretta and Nina and Pat and Sharon. And so I'm going to say my mission prayer for them today. I'd like you to remember them in your prayers. So join me. Divine Savior, transform me into yourself. May my hands be your hands. May my tongue be your tongue. Grant that every faculty of my body may serve only to glorify you. Above all, transform my soul and all its powers, that my memory, my will, and my affections may be the memory, the will, and the affections of you. I pray you to destroy in me all that is not of you. Grant that I may live but in you and by you and for you, and that I may truly say with St. Paul, I live now, not I, but Christ lives in me. God bless. Check us out on Wednesday on our website. Be safe. See you next Monday.